You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that even if you haven't watched it, you probably know a decent amount about Netflix's hit show Stranger Things. The series is up there as one of the most successful pieces of original content the streaming platform has put out there, having been a smash hit since its debut season in July 2016, absolutely paying off the faith put into it by Netflix, who purchased the rights to it within just 24 hours of hearing its pitch. Roll in 2022 and we're now awaiting the highly anticipated fourth season. So without further ado, let's go over everything we know about the upcoming season. First up, a recap. We're going to quickly go over what happened at the end of season 3. The finale was a long time ago now, so you'd be forgiven for not quite remembering everything. Goes without saying that anyone who hasn't seen the end of season 3 should probably click away right now, because we'll be freely spoiling. Okay, all that done, let's talk season 3 and what it sets up for this upcoming season. 11, distraught over the believed death of Jim Hopper, moved away from Hawkins along with the Byers, causing great drama as the gang was finally split up across 2 different towns. One of the biggest questions then is whether or not 11 and Will's friendship with the rest of their pals will be able to survive such a long distance, especially given that the show takes place in the 80s. It's not as if they can just hop on a Zoom call. Moving on, who will be in season 4? Netflix are yet to confirm the official cast list for the 4th season of Stranger Things, but going off of individual announcements and what we've seen in teasers, we have a pretty good idea of how things are shaping up on that front. All the super important characters will be returning as Millie Bobby Brown, Gate Matarazzo, Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, and Caleb McLaughlin will be reprising their roles as Eleven, Dustin, Mike, Will, and Lucas, respectively, amongst many others also coming back for the 4th season. But along with all the returning characters, it's also exciting to know that we've got some new characters being introduced into the world for this latest season, as the show's official Instagram account recently put out a post encouraging us to give the selection of new cast members a Hawkins welcome. Probably the most eye-catching of the new cast members is American actor Robert Englund, who will be playing the debuting Victor Creel, who's described as a disturbed and intimidating man who is imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital. The horror fans amongst you may recognize Englund's name, and that's because he has actually played one of the most iconic horror roles in movie history, as he has portrayed Freddy Krueger for every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Englund has won multiple Saturn Awards and has also been recognized on more than one occasion for what he's done within the horror genre. So there's no doubt that whatever his character gets up to in season 4 will make for great action. As great as Englund is, he's far from the only addition to the cast, with Eduardo Franco, Jamie Campbell-Bower, Sherman Augustus, Mason Dye, Tom Walashisha, Nicola Jericho, and Joseph Quinn all confirmed to be appearing in the latest round of Stranger Things adventures. We won't go through each and every one of their characters, but we will note that amongst the different personalities, there's a charming Russian prison guard, a stoner pizza delivery boy, and a smuggler who loves crunchy peanut butter. Suffice to say, all of them should make for fun and interesting characters. So what will season 4 be about? For obvious reasons, details on the exact plot of season 4 have been kept relatively sparse. Of course, we don't know each and everything that's going to happen before we even sit down and watch it. That kind of defeats the point, but we are interested in having a vague idea of what's going to go down in the world of Stranger Things. Fortunately, show creators the Duffer Brothers have seen fit to give us a few hints of what to expect in this latest season, providing just enough information to stoke interest without stepping over into outright spoiler territory. If you really don't want to have any ideas about any of the plots for season 4, then maybe skip this part of the list. But all this is coming from the showrunners themselves, so it's definitely information you're safe knowing going in. Speaking recently with Entertainment Weekly, the duo confirmed that they could finally announce the return of Hopper, the former Hawkins chief of police. Last we saw of Jim Hopper was when the government claimed he had died in a mall fire, when in actuality he had been transported to a prison in Kamchatka, Russia, forced into hard labor under threat of being fed to a Demogorgon. The Duffer Brothers have promised that Hopper will face dangers, both human and other, suggesting that Jim will be in for a run with that aforementioned Demogorgon at some point throughout season 4. The creators also touched on what'll be happening back in the States, with a new horror supposedly about to emerge, something that has long been buried and something that connects everything, hinting that this new force could be the greatest challenge challenge the Hawkins gang face yet. When will we get season 4? Still don't know exactly when we're actually gonna get our hands on the long-awaited 4th season of Stranger Things, a fact that has frustrated many fans who have been trying to maintain their patience through multiple shooting delays, not to mention the further delay caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The last season of Stranger Things, season 3, released all the way back in July 2019, and the fact all episodes were released at once meant that people could consume the content in a matter of days, leaving a flurry of questions and excitement that's been tested over the nearly 3-year wait time. Fortunately, we seem to at least have a rough idea of season 4's release date, nothing too specific or certain, but a general idea that should hopefully reassure fans that eventually they'll get to see the Hawkins gang back in action. We've known for a while that summer of 2022 is the likely date for the season's release, but a recent TikTok video where a user unboxed a crate of Stranger Things merch has potentially given a hint for a specific month, as one of the pieces of merch contained inside was a box of Stranger Things branded Cheerios with a use by date of the 6th of July 2022. This may seem a bit of a stretch at first, but it comes after the Georgia Tour company made an Instagram post detailing their excitement for the release of season 4 in July 2022, proceeding to hastily edit the caption out after it was noticed. It's quite possible that this was simply a mistake from the tour company, that they had no actual information to suggest the season would be out in July, but equally could be an inadvertent leak of genuine information. Another final piece of information that makes the case for a 6th of July release is that the show has been weirdly specific about releasing a majority of its season 4 teasers and trailers on the 6th of various months, with examples such as the teasers released on the 6th of May, August, and November last year. Ultimately, we can't say for certain when season 4 will finally hit our screens, but you may want to keep your first week of July free. Will there be a season 5? I know we might be getting ahead of ourselves a tiny bit here. The 4th season hasn't even hit our screens yet, and we're already speculating about whether or not there could be a 5th season of the Stranger Things story. But knowing that information will, of course, give us some ideas about what will happen in season 4. After all, if it's confirmed that there will be no 5th season, we would go into season 4 expecting all plot lines to be definitively wrapped up, whereas we could expect something less final if we know the story is set to continue past the upcoming season. Though Netflix themselves haven't officially confirmed anything yet, we've heard word from the series creators Matt and Ross Duffer, who recently gave an interview to The Hollywood Reporter. During this interview, the brothers claimed that season 4 won't be the end, going on to reveal that they know what the ending of Stranger Things is, as well as when it is. The pair actually credited the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused a huge delay in the filming of season 4, with giving them time to step back and look ahead to the future of the show, figuring out how things will progress and how they intend on finally wrapping things up for good. Supposedly, this time to plan gave them a better idea of how long they need to tell that story, and it would seem that they are very much intending on continuing things past season 4. Obviously, they don't have the final word on this, but it's incredibly hard to imagine Netflix canceling a show that's been nominated for 39 Emmy Awards. It'll have to be a truly disastrous season 4, and assuming that won't happen, it seems safe to say that season 4 will not be the last we see of Stranger Things. And that's everything. Are you excited for the 4th season of Stranger Things? Let us know down in the comments, and until next time, we'll see you soon.